Hey guys, Wicked Sailor here, back with another video. Today we have the salvage of a 39-foot Bayliner at Metropolitan Yacht Club in Braintree, Massachusetts. This video is going to be a mix of body cam footage, some 360 cam footage, and some underwater footage. And I'm going to try to talk you through the rigging process, you know, what we were thinking while we were setting up and how we were going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. We're going to try to rig a bag on the stern here, and then we have a guy coming with a trailer with some more gear too. Okay. And so we'll... you guys going to have to dive into it? Oh yeah, yep. So that was the initial look at the boat. When we first got down, we noticed that it's in shallow water, so the whole bottom is probably in the mud there. So we tried to make a plan. We got some salvage bags out, we got some hoses, we got ready to rig our air compressor, and then we're going to suit up and get in the water. So the initial plan was to get a bag on the port side stern of the boat and kind of try to level it off. If you can see, it's kind of listing to the port side. So that's what we were going to go in and investigate if that was possible. The visibility isn't too good here in the Fore River in Braintree, but we were able to get in, get a look at the boat, as you'll see in this dive footage, and we noticed that the entire port side is just in the mud and we can't really get to anything, and we don't have much water to have the airbag, you know, enact any lift on the boat either. So basically the plan we made was to level it off with that bag on the stern. I was able to get to the prop shaft on the starboard side, so we tie a line to the starboard side as well on the prop shaft, and then hope that that gives us enough lift to get under the boat and rig bags the way we need to. The tide is also coming in, so once we rig that bag, as the tide comes in, it'll help the bag lift the boat more. What you're seeing here is just me investigating, you know, any points where we might be able to tie bags to. This is a generator that has picking eyes, but they're not very stable, so we didn't want to go to those. The engines in this boat were in a place where we couldn't get to at the moment, so we're continuing to go with our plan that we were going to attach a bag to the port side stern, and then tie a bag to the starboard side prop shaft and try to get some lift there, enough lift to get bags midship that we can tie together under the boat and then really get it up out of the water. So here you'll see I just got the line that I'm going to tie to the prop shaft. You can see the visibility isn't too good. I'm on the starboard side here, and you can just see, in a second you'll see the prop shaft, and I tie that line to the prop shaft, and then I tie it off for now so that when we're ready we can get a bag tied right to the prop shaft there. I'm just tying this off for now, and eventually we'll tie a bag as close as we can to the prop shaft to try to get some lift there. right, Mike. Mike. So now I'm going back around to the port side. I'm going to get a bag, and we're going to clip that bag into the cleat right there on the stern. Boop. You see a little jellyfish there, moon jelly. So we're going to clip a bag there and try to get this port stern up out of the mud. As you can see, it's way down in the mud right there. Okay, so now we're ready to take the bag and clip it into that stern cleat. Here you'll see the bag is already rigged with an air hose, that yellow hose coming off going to our compressor. Captain Mike is asking if we want a shackle or a carabiner. Most of the time the carabiners are easier just to clip in rather than messing with unscrewing and screwing in a shackle. So he's passing us that bag, and we're going to bring it down, clip it to that stern cleat, and then air it up and see if we can get any lift on that side. And what we're trying to do is get to something under there that's right now in the mud that we can tie to, like a prop shaft or a rudder post or something like that. So that's the goal with what we're doing right now. Okay, so that bag is clipped in. It's got an air hose to it already, so we're ready to air that up and see if we can get any lift under the boat here. So you can see here the bag is now inflated. Most of it's out of the water like we thought. We knew that the tide was coming in though, so as much water as the tide comes in, that's going to give us a little more lift with every inch of water that gets under that bag. Unfortunately, we didn't get too much lift from the bag, but we got enough that it was starting to level off, and we were able to rig a set of bags under the boat the way we want them, about a midship where most of the weight of the boat is, and we're able to start to get it up out of the water. So here's a clip of the Bodycam. Captain Mike is airing up that bag that we rigged on the port side stern, and you can kind of see it's in fast motion. You can kind of see it just gives us a little bit of lift and starts to level off a little bit, but nothing too much where we can get under the boat yet. But as the tide comes in, it helps us, and we're able to rig the bags the way that we want to. So now you see Captain Rick in the wetsuit. He was diving with me. You see Captain Mike and Captain Tim. They're getting bags ready to start rigging a couple sets midship and then a little bit in front of that. And we're going to start with the bag on the prop shaft on the starboard side. And so what you'll see here is some dive footage of the bags getting rigged and the guys topside getting everything organized. Okay, I think at this point I had rigged the starboard side bag, so you can see the boat starting to come up on the starboard side as well and get leveled off. So this is them airing up that starboard side bag that's tied to the prop shaft and leveling everything off. Here I am getting out of the water. I think I had to swap tanks out and get a fresh air tank, and I think we've got enough lift under the boat now to where we can rig the bags where we want them. So the next few clips will be rigging the bags in the center of the boat and a little bit farther forward to kind of lift the whole boat up out of the water to where we can start getting pumps going and pump it out. Did that lean back this way when you aired the shaft? So I'm getting back in the water now to rig a few more bags. You can see as the tide's been coming up, it's been helping us out. And we're gonna be ready to rig, like I said, a couple more bags, get it up out of the water enough to start pumping. Okay, at this point, I think I had rigged both bags amidship where we need them. One on the port side, one on the starboard side. Kind of right under the helm there, that fly bridge is where I set the bags. So we're airing those up. We're trying to get as much of the boat as we can out of the water, and at the same time making sure it comes up level and doesn't tip side to side. So pay attention to the water line, and you can see, you know, how the boat's starting to come up and if it's coming up even. And what we can do with we have a little manifold, we can adjust which bags are getting air to kind of make sure that it comes up the way we want it to. So here I am going back under and adding an air line to the second set of bags that I rigged. This bag is in front of the other set that is under the boat and doing most of the lifting. So I'm going to rig an air line to that bag. Then we're going to inflate those bags, and as you'll see, we get most of the boat out of the water, enough that we can start rigging our gas-powered pumps and start pumping the boat out. This is just checking the rigging of another bag that we tied to the prop shaft to help get that boat out of the water. Okay, so here is some body camera footage of the bags getting aired up, and because it's sped up so fast, you can really see how much of the boat comes up out of the water and how it comes up and kind of levels off, and you can really see the work that the bags are doing. So I thought this view showed, you know, how the boat was coming up with the bags being inflated, especially in fast motion. As you can see here, we also start getting our pumps rigged and ready to go. As soon as we get the boat high enough out of the water, we can start pumping and get it back to sitting normally where it does at its normal water line. So as you can see here, most of the gunnels are above the water line. We need to get this door closed here at the stern, and once this door gets closed, we will be able to adequately pump this boat out. So you see Captain Rick here closing that door, and yeah, now we can start rigging a bunch of pumps and dewater this boat. I did.
But I don't see it coming out. It might have a flapper on it.
Okay. We're definitely gaining a lot, but judging by the steps.
I'm gonna have to carve a spot out down below so we get a hose in there.
All right.
Couch.
Oh.
We can put the 3-inch down in there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Does it have slack?
Put that over there so we don't lose it. Your weight's up, okay? Locking the hole too, maybe.
So as you can see, we've been dewatering the boat using our pumps. We're trying to get into every hatch that we can. I believe this is the engine room or engine area. So we're gonna get a pump down in there and pump it out and see if we can determine where the water was coming in from. Okay, so at this point, we have most of the boat pumped out. You can see it's sitting at its normal water line. The swim platform's out of the water. We have a lot of stuff broken down already. We've been starting to clean up. And what we discovered was that a hose off of a raw water washdown system became disconnected, and that is what eventually led to the boat taking on water. We were able to stop that hose from letting water in by closing the seacock, and the boat is now stable and can stay here until it's can make arrangements to get hauled out. So we're going to clean up, and this was a successful salvage. We raised the boat out, discovered where the water was coming from, and we're able to leave it here in a stable condition until it can get hauled out. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all your support. Please share the channel with your friends. Make sure you're subscribed, drop a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.